It's nice to be here. I think in 2007, I was at Kanji Dam. There's the entrance to Kanji Dam is called Wawa. When you get to Wawa Gate, you still have about 72 or thereabout over almost 100 kilometers into the Kanji National Game Reserve. And in the past 20 years, uh, maybe the National Parks Commission should tell us how many tourists have been able to visit that park and how much they've been able to recover from the Kanji Dam, because it has been left idle and given away for terrorists to invade it and take possession. It's a lovely sight to behold if you have been there at the Kanji National Park. It's a sad development, as I've said often on this in the last 2 weeks on this program. The commentary is really devastating. It's sad, to say the least. Niger State declaring curfew 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, banning Okadas, banning, that is the commercial motorcycle, banning the keke napep, the tricycles, but allowing the health professionals who are essential service providers to move within that period. When the president arrived and he said state governors should take charge, I think probably this is one of the messages he was passing to them, telling them they are the chief security officers of their state to start with. They should know what is happening. They should have the detailed information of what is happening and how they can curtail it. And maybe this is a step in the right direction by the Niger State governor. But however, when such pronouncements are made, some feathers will be touched.
I can imagine the situation in Minna that forced the governor to declare this conflict.
Even in
killings going on and all that by these are within the cities, and these are people that are known. You know how cults operate. Young people come together, form groups.
There's a reference.
Rival groups are formed, and the next thing supremacy contest, and they start hacking each other to death. For a nation and a city and a state, Niger State, that is already overwhelmed with, Niger has about the biggest landmass in Nigeria.
Exactly.
And most of these forests, the National Security Advisor says, no part of our territory is under the control of any group. That's what he says. But the report we are getting is that a large part of most parts of Nigeria, there are places, even in my state, Anambra, there are places,
places.
We know that separatist elements armed are there. I have friends who are from some parts of some of those communities that find themselves, they have not gone home for the past 3 years. We know these places. The security agencies know much more than us. Few times they do area bombardment and all those issues, but the problem is we know they are there. In Niger State, we know the Kainji you talked about, all those areas, we know that there are no-go areas even for government officials. Even for the NSA, there are places you cannot go. In my state, in Anambra and all that. So, Niger State, Minna, that is already facing these huge challenges. And now, the civil disturbances, criminal disturbances, it will be too much for this state.
Before Kule coming, last 2 months, I think a footballer was killed. And the Amnesty International called for investigation. And in Suleja, which is part of Niger State, the growth of cultism in Suleja has crossed over to Niger State, and the killings have continued. I think 7 people were killed about 2 weeks ago due to these clashes. The governor's step, as I said earlier, is the step in the right direction, but however, some eyebrows have been raised because of the conditions attached to it.
Fish is the most endowed.
Fish to timber.
That Niger State we're talking about.
Let's not talk about the diamonds and all of that.
The Niger State we're talking about, do you know the amount of gold is there in Niger? Do you know the amount of mining sites in Niger State? Do you know the amount of... Now, we have illegal sites a lot. I have done documentary in Niger State about illegal mining. If you go into the hinterland in Niger State, there are abundance of minerals in Niger State. So why would they invade? And some people have accused some nationals, I can't call them on radio, that they are sponsoring these militia groups so that they can harvest and mine our minerals and take away. The Minister of Mines was bragging just yesterday that they made 6.2 billion. Sorry, they made about 6 billion. The national cost, and I laughed. 6 billion, and you are celebrating it? No, sir. We have a lot of resources in Nigeria. Control it. Let the military has a space research, whatever, around the space 1 or space 2, space 3 that we have established in Nigeria. The Niger Sat, the space 1, space 2, space 3. What are they doing? You talked about technology, Kunle. Yes. The area surveillance and the earth surveillance What have we done with it?
Well, the thing is that we are highlighting this so that the government will